know that I'm not bothered, or at least show them that I'm not bothered. Or, a step further, learn how to become unbothered. Covering up that I'm so bothered doesn't actually help me, because then I walk away from people and I'm still bothered and I'm still emotional. It's just that they're not seeing me become emotional about it. I might just wait until they walk away, or I go somewhere else and then I cry and I get frustrated. But now I'm just like, you know what? I have cried and been frustrated and angry and upset about so many things much deeper than the dishes being done, that I don't have the energy to exert on minuscule changes like that. I'm worried about my son all the time. I miss him. I'm worried about where I will go if this housing situation doesn't work out. I am so worried about a million other things and frustrated and want to cry about so much that I can no longer get upset about the minuscule things that people might do to try to bother me. And I no longer have the energy to try to decide and decipher if they're doing this to hurt me, or if they're just doing this knowing, with no idea that it bothers me. You know what? They're going to do what they're going to do, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, which is stay in my lane and try to stay balanced. No matter what upset happens, I need to stay balanced. So it doesn't matter how many times the dish pit gets rearranged, I will accommodate myself, I will be flexible, and I will work with the fact that things are changing every single day. And I have to change and mold with them. And that's a really good thing to remember when in the workplace, especially when people don't like people with autism. They don't. You might not even know that that person is autistic, but the way that they just are, you'll be like, oh, something's off about them. I don't know. I don't like them. There is real discrimination that happens. You know. And I have to look past the way that people are viewing me and know that's not me. The way that they're looking at me, the way that they're thinking about me, that's not who I am. That's who they are perceiving me to be, but I know who I am. And really just not letting the opinions of other people tell you who you are. Just come into work, clock in, get your job done, and leave. And then it was that very aspect that I wasn't social. I wasn't trying to sit around and smoke or go to the bar after the job. I was trying to go home. And then people don't like that. They don't like that you're not willing to get messy with them after the job. That you're not willing to go out and drink with them after your shift.